Hi, I'm Zandy. I'm a furry artist. I have been since 2012 officially. I've gone under a few names in the past and I've had various different characters over the years, but most notably, I'm now known as that quote unquote rat artist. I'm currently working in the creative team at ScotiaCon, and I run my own art business part-time around a full-time day job called PixelPlague Illustration. It used to be Pixel Poo. I've just recently changed it because PixelPlague sounds cooler, and also I am a rat. It just works. I'm also known more kind of for my con badges that I do usually as commissions. There's a lot of them around, like they're actually starting to take over a little bit. I'm a bit concerned because I have people all the time coming back to me going, I've been to like this convention or this meet somewhere and I've seen this badge that you've done. And I'm just like, oh God, there's another one. They're literally spreading like a plague. So yeah, but I am now a known, as I said, the rat artist really. Yeah, I've been around for a long time. And I've thoroughly enjoyed it.
So what got you started in the furry fandom?
Oh, okay. When I was about 11 or 12, I went on holiday to Tenerife and I met somebody who I've been lifelong friends with since called Luke. And Luke and his sister Haley were really into cosplay. At that time, I didn't have the internet at home. I was thinking, this cosplay thing sounds really cool. So I was at school during lessons, shouldn't have been doing that, looking at what cosplay was. And I was like, oh, this is so cool. And these conventions are amazing. And I was that kid who was always on DeviantArt. And I had my own OC at the time called Rubex, who was a sort of a gothic girl with like wolf ears and a tail, very original, do not steal, sort of character that I sort of portrayed online. And I thought to myself, I really would love to make a cosplay of Rubex. So I Googled how to make a wolf ears and tail set. And I came across a website called matrices.net, which I know is a staple in the fandom now, which is fantastic. And it's run by Sarah Howard, who teaches you how to make your own fursuits. And probably 13-year-old me was absolutely mind blown. Like, you can make these fursuits and you can walk around in public with them. That's absolutely crazy. That's absolutely something that I would love to do. So I didn't know kind of furry was actually a fandom as per se, but then I started watching Matrice's videos and seeing, the rainforest and everything conventions, and I was like, oh, I need to go to this. I need to see this. Like, I need to have a fursuit and all this. I just wanted to be part of it. So I went and met up with Luke at a local convention called Collectomania, which used to happen twice a year. And I was remember actually telling Luke saying about, oh, there's this thing called a fursuit and all this, and I want to make one. And I at that point remember walking around a corner and seeing two fursuiters. And I was like, oh my God, it's a sign. There was Juno the lemur and Zuki the gargoyle. And I was like, absolutely just like, oh my goodness, like these things are insane. Like, I love these. So it was sort of from that point forward, I just absolutely fell in love with it all. I was in denial about being a furry for a very long time. And then I went to a friend's leaving party because he was going to uni. And I met someone there called Beth, who was this really cool, eccentric person. They had like red hair. They had a really long battle jacket with all these like anime sort of badges and things over. And these like really colorful Doc Martens. They had like Lego earrings that they made. They were like this crazy person, but in like the best way possible. And one of my friends made a bit of a joke about the furry stuff, and I joined in going, haha, yeah, furries, they suck and everything like that. And Beth literally stood up and sort of like raised her voice to me across the room, and they were like, what have you got against furries? Because I'm one. And I was like, oh, I'm really sorry. And I got up to go. So I got to go into the kitchen because Beth was going in there to go get some pizza, and Beth actually thought I was like gonna, I don't know, punch them or something. I don't know. Like apparently I've got this aura about me, which I don't think I have, but people are like, no, you do come across as a bit threatening sometimes. Like, I don't mean to, I'm really sorry. But I turned around and said to them, I'm so sorry if I offended you or anything, but actually I do like fursuits and I am really kind of a furry, just in denial about it. And me and Beth kind of just bonded straight away and we became really good friends. And we started up sort of local meets in our town, a little Facebook group. I discovered about the Birmingham Fur Meets. I went to a mini meet in October 2012, and I am still friends with a lot of people that I met that day. In fact, one of them I'm still very close with. Um, and yeah, it's been from that point forwards.
So tell me a bit about your fursona, because the current one you have now is a rat with like multicolored hair. Why did you pick a rat fursona? How did you get to this?
Well, I'm glad you've asked because I it sounds really weird. When I first joined the fandom, I was actually like when I officially joined the fandom, my character was a Leoga, which is a snow leopard tiger called Zandy. Of course, I've always gone under the same name. She I had a fursuit commissioned of her for a little while, but after a while, I kind of didn't bond with the character as much anymore. So I sold the suit on and thought I'll just make a new character. Um, Myself and one of my friends has a bit of a joke about this because I essentially went under and faced like an identity crisis for like 10 years because I could never settle on a character officially. I went from saber-toothed tigers to a a Maine Coon, which was my longest running character, but I never had an actual set design for her. Or if I did, it changed again in 5 minutes. It was just crazy. But I actually went under a character called Jax Vondi for many years, had two suits of him. And I was known mostly for Jax, but he was never actually me or like my own persona. It wasn't until I met my partner Hideki back in 2018. So we got together in think it was 20 about early 2019. I can't remember time anymore since COVID, but um we were obviously trying to plan our futures together and we wanted to move in. And Hideki said, oh, I was going to ask you, would you ever consider getting rats? And I was like, nope, absolutely not. Rats are disgusting, horrible things. And, you know, they're filthy, they're smelly. And I just thought, oh, no, not for, not for me at all, which is, if you know me, you know, that's absolutely insane because my life now is just rats. But Hideki was like, I'm going to change your opinion on that. So they took me to Pets at Home and I got to hold this really adorable little female rat. And it's like the stereotype of kind of going, I looked into the creature's eyes and it looked back at me. But honestly, that is what happened. And I kind of looked down and was like, she's actually really sweet. Like, I really like her. So from that point forward, I kind of went, okay, yeah, I will get pet rats. We'll see how it goes. We officially moved in together. It was actually, I think, the week after the first COVID lockdown happened, or it was like the week during, I can't remember, but we got our flat, and after about 3 months of living there, the landlord gave us permission to get pets, and we planned to get rats. And we had our first four boys: Koji, Hex, Wicket, and Ozzy. And I was like, obviously didn't know an awful lot about rats really with personalities because they've all got their own personalities, but I didn't kind of know what to expect with rats. And there were a few things that I was observing going, wow, I am a lot like a rat. Like, I like love food and, silly things. And like, they're just really silly pets. And like, I'm a silly person. I know it sounds really cliche, but there's just little things I was picking up on going, like I can relate to rats a little bit. And I made a joke online and I was like, what if Zandy was a rat? And one of my friends straight away just went on Telegram, was like, yes, oh my God, it has to happen. Like, make Zandy a rat, like, draw her now. And I was like, haha, yeah, that's funny. That's another character to throw into the maybe pile. I drew her as a rat. And it's again like the stereotype of like, I was like, oh my God, this is it. Like, that's Zandy, that's me as a like an actual rat. And I thought, oh, this is it now. Like, the game's over. Like, I know what Sandy is. She's definitely a rat now. So I've definitely grown more in my love of rats over the years as well. And Zandy's had a couple of little tweaks and designs, sort of changes mostly to her body, like the body design and everything. And I've just been happily a rat since, this punk rat, and I get called a possum a lot, which I don't mind. But yeah, the rat is staying. She's not going anywhere.
So you mentioned earlier on about being a part of the ScotiaCon team. So for ScotiaCon 2025, you had a very
Mhm.
cool art project. How did that get started?
So, oh, that's a good question. Um, so my friend Kapu is the one who runs the creative team, and so he's head of the creative team, and he is one of these people who comes in and he says to people, right, I'm going to put out a spreadsheet of all the projects I need doing. Can you guys tell me what you would like to do, or just sort of put your name on the sheet of what you would, consider doing or anything like that? And I said, oh yes, I would be interested in doing a t-shirt design, but I know normally things like that are planned ahead, so I was kind of a bit hesitant about maybe putting my name down, but it was a sort of project that I've always really wanted to do. I spent literally hours perfecting this design. I'm not even going to say how many hours because it's actually embarrassing. I still look at it now, and if you're an artist or anything, like, you will understand this. You will look at something and it will never be like right, or it will never be finished. And I even look at the design now and go, there was so much more I could have done with that, but oh well, it is what it is, kind of thing. I had to hand it in before I went insane. Um, but I essentially made it to be Wallace, who was the mascot of the convention. We love Wallace. Of course, had to put a rat in there. And the Wallace is basically casting a spell. Things are going quite crazy. Everything's all lifting up in the air. The poor rat is clinging on for dear life. Just thought it was funny. Wallace is like, I think it's on his leg. And there's also, if anyone wasn't aware of this, because I've had a couple of questions from people who haven't attended the convention. They were like, this is a bit random. I don't get this. But there's a couple of hidden things in there. So there's a jam jar. And if you've been to ScotiaCon, you will know the jam joke. It's just something that I don't really know how to explain it. I don't know where it came from, but they have a giant inflatable jam jar that they just bring out randomly, and people will shout jam. And it's just a big chant that happens where people just keep going jam, jam, jam. Um, and I just put it in there, and I was really happy because someone did notice it and put it in one of the official chats, and I was like, yes, like someone got the Easter egg. But yeah, I really loved doing the shirt. I would absolutely be up for any future projects for cons who want to do shirt designs and things, because I'm not sure what it is, but seeing your artwork on an official convention t-shirt is it's just insane. Like, he kind of that, like, that Simpsons meme where it's like Homer in the bar and he's like surrounded by like all these ladies, and people usually edit the meme where um there's like a lot of something. I'm not really sure how to explain it. Usually it's like Halloween, it's a joke about, the Joker and Harley, for example. There's a lot of them in the same bar. That was me at ScotiaCon being surrounded by these shirts that I designed, and I was just like standing, like staring in space, like, oh my gosh, like this is my creation, like what have I done, sort of joke. But yeah, I loved it. I thought it was absolutely fantastic.
Because you mentioned before about like seeing people have your badges and things over the years. Was
Yeah.
that like a different feeling seeing people wear the con t-shirt?
Yeah, it was it's something I wanted to do for a long time. It's kind of like the bucket list of projects that I want to do as an artist, and one of them was to do an official convention design for, obviously the t-shirt. And I actually had a bit of a moment where I walked into the foyer near the bar at Scotia, and there was just everybody was just like wearing the shirts, and it was kind of one of those moments where I kind of froze, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's happening! Like, this is actually real," kind of thing. Whereas with a badge, you see like a few sort of dotted about, but I mean, this was like everybody was wearing it, and I was just like, "Oh my gosh!" Like, it was insane. But it was just such a good feeling.
How did you kind of come up with your artistic style? Is that the word I want? Style? I don't know. I'm just a
Yeah.
cat. I don't know these things.
No, I know exactly what you mean. So it's a bit of a mixed one, really. So before I got like officially became in the fandom, my style was a lot different. I am very influenced by sort of the works of Jonan Vasquez. So he is the creator of the cartoon Invader Zim, as well as comics that if you know, you know, kind of thing, called JTHM, Johnny the Homicidal Maniac in Squee and things like that. And then there's also Roman Dirge, who has also worked on Invader Zim, but has his own comic series called Lenore the Cute Little Dead Girl. Those comics literally shaped my artistic like sort of vision. I was that person back on DeviantArt in the day who used to draw things in the style of Invader Zim and like the Joan Vasquez style. And I kind of like built it up from there, really. I got to a point where I see other artists' sort of styles and go, oh, that's really cool. Like I like what they do with the eyes or something. And of course, I try to like do my own version of it. But I've definitely been influenced by other furry artists over the years. One of them that comes to mind was Ifus. I know they get called Ifus a lot, but they were very early days furry for me. And there was also an artist at the time on DeviantArt, and they were known as Blue Shine Wolf. So this is back in the day of like the Sparkle Dog comics and things like the Blackbird Alliance and all this kind of stuff. These are things that I loved, and this is where kind of all my inspiration came from. But Blue Shine Wolf's style at the time was something that I absolutely adored. And again, I used to sort of try and like learn from their style, like, you know, try sort of copy things and sort of like try and sort of make them into my own sort of, you know, twist on sort of what I want to see in my own work and things. It's just been things like that over the years, really. And yeah, in terms of like themes, really, I'm really into sort of like I guess like I wouldn't say horror, but I'm into like kind of the alternative side of things. Like I've always been really into the band Slipknot. I love the fact they wear masks and they're these crazy guys. You know, I don't know if you've ever seen sort of behind the scenes footage of them acting insane and things. Like they got the jumpsuits, the different masks and the different uniforms, just things like that over the years. I've just sort of incorporated into what I love doing. And yeah, that's kind of really, really it, to be honest with you.
And what would be some of your advice for artists who are just starting off or in their art journey?
I think one of the things that I cannot stress enough, because this is something that I have stressed a lot about over the years, and it's only taken me until quite recently to like not try to like unlearn this kind of like thing that I've got in my head over the years. But practicing anatomy is really important. Of course it is. However, don't obsess over it where you think something looks wrong in a drawing or anything like that and you have to fix it. I think it's really important to know that not everything is perfect, and art that looks, I'm not going to say like art that looks sort of a bit janky in places, maybe, like I'm not sure what the word really is, but um, it's one of those where if an arm or a leg or something doesn't look right, it's not the end of the world. People aren't really going to care. You know, get your artwork done and, you know, get it out there. As long as you're happy with it, absolutely fine. You will still look back on art in years to come. And I'm going to say this now because I know a lot of people think, oh, I don't want my art looking bad or cringy or anything. You will look back on your art and you will go, oh, that looks so bad, that looks cringy. But it's a good thing because it means that you've evolved both as an artist and a person. But nothing's cringe in a bad way. So just draw what makes your heart happy. Don't care about what other people say online. Obviously, within reason, there are certain things that you should not be drawing. But so if someone says something's cringe, screw it. Doesn't matter. Makes you happy. No, not a problem at all. Just post away if you're to happy heart's content.
So, Pixel, thank you so much for coming on today. I've had a fantastic chat with you. It's been really insightful. Tell people where they can find you online.
So my website, it will be up by the time this gets published, is pixelplague.com. You can find all my information on there. I mostly use Blue Sky. So my handle is, of course, pixelplague.bsky.social. And on there, I always have my card link with all my links on there, which is just the Pixel Plague Illu. So ILLU.card.co. You can find the links to all my socials on there. But yeah, Blue Sky is the best place to contact me if you'd like to.